Hello and thank you for joining me. This is Taliesin McKnight, and today's subject is the use of occult symbols and their application in order to change your life, to make changes within ourselves. So that today's lesson is on the use of symbols, to consciously use symbols in order to affect changes in your life. So that to have a knowledge without an application that produces results is meaningless. So today we're going to talk about different techniques and methods that you can use in your life with the simple use of symbolic imagery. So today's subject is symbols and how to use these to cause changes in your life. Now, many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the power of suggestion. The power of suggestion. Suggestion is to repeat something over and over, or within a relaxed hypnotic state to give yourself a suggestion. This is used in hypnosis, hypnotherapy, in order to quit smoking, whatever. So that these laws are accepted within the fields of psychology. In hypnosis, they use the power of suggestion. In fact, the advertising companies and the media uses the power of suggestion in order to get people to buy products, in order to get people to kind of do what they want. So the power of suggestion is being used upon us by the media, by advertising agencies. So this type of thing is being employed all the time. Okay? But this is taking this knowledge and applying it to change your life. So the power of suggestion, subliminal messages, repeated affirmation, visualization, to give yourself suggestions in a hypnotic state. These are all form a type of psychological technology that could be applied to change your life. And a lot of you are familiar with the placebo effect. Doctors might prescribe someone sugar pills and tell them that this will cure their headache or whatever. And it's been a proven fact in science that the placebo effect does have an actual effect upon the body. So these things are already being looked at by science. So the power of suggestion, okay? And today, this is sort of like Prometheus stole fire from the gods and bestowed it upon man. This is taking these ideas that are used in a clinic, that are used by advertising agencies, giving it to individuals so that they could apply these consciously to have a better life, a more fulfilled life. Okay, so we're all familiar with the placebo effect, the power of suggestion. Okay, so having a belief, that is very important. Having a belief in the power of a placebo. That is an important element, is faith or believing. Okay, doctors give people sugar pills as a placebo, and in the church, people take the Eucharist. So, you know, the Eucharist is a placebo in a sense. So anyways, diving on in here, a talisman. What is a talisman? A talisman, or an amulet. A talisman is, you know, we're all familiar with like having charm bracelets, lucky charms, a lucky rabbit's foot. A talisman is an object that people believe having this magical object will bring them love or money or gambling success or whatever. Okay, so a talisman is the reverence of an object. It could be a stone, it could be whatever. The belief that this will grant you success or whatever. Okay, so a talisman is a form of suggestion. And in my opinion, it actually goes way deeper than that. I don't really subscribe to the whole, oh, it's all mentalism and all that. I think there's a lot deeper there with behind the theory of a talisman. But basically, having faith in something does have a placebo effect, the power of suggestion. So, let's say that you have a magic hat or a bracelet or a ring that you believe gives you confidence or makes you successful. Now, if you have this and you have faith in it and you go to a business presentation, you'll probably be more confident. Okay, believe in yourself more. Or if you believe something will bring you love, that self-confidence aspect. So, a talisman is an object, essentially, that you believe will bring you whatever you want, okay? And I will be going in future videos into actual traditional methods for constructing astrological talismans and stuff like that. And like I said, it goes way deeper than just this mentalism, psychological stuff. Okay, in fact, this psychological view of everything is frowned on in part of the occult community. It's kind of new age. But, you know, this is these are actual principles, okay? So a talisman is an object that you carry with you, that you believe will bring you success or whatever. So you could see how this is a sort of spiritual or psychological technology, okay? Having a copper amulet with images of the planet Venus that governs love and invocations to call down the energies of Venus into the talisman and worn around you with the proper prayers, all this. This is age-old ceremonial magic. And next thing you know, the practitioner would notice that they would have more love in their lives. So it's interesting that this seems to be a sort of technology in a way. Alchemical elixirs. Herbal medicines within alchemy, within spagyrics, tinctures, things like that. This really does have medical effects of the herbs, so that some herbs relieve headaches. Some herbs are a laxative, you know, that type of thing. But also through making the tinctures connected with a certain planet astrologically, during the day and hour of the planet and all of that, and the proper prayers. Again, this applies this sort of deeper placebo that there's a magical power in the tincture, in this alchemical medicine. So when you take it, you have the combined power of a placebo and the actual medical aspect. And there may be some actual deeper spiritual forces there. Okay? So you can see how this is more meaningful in a sense. So talismans, alchemical elixirs. So it's interesting that in ancient cultures, we did have, you know, back then, medicine, astronomy, chemistry, all of these things were a type of science. Until later on, people started breaking away with this type of knowledge. And then we have the aspect of deities as personified ideas. So, let's put this into perspective here. How could you apply this in your life? Okay, let's say, for example, diving on into the practical applications here, let's say, for example, that you want to be more aggressive. You want to be more assertive and dominant, in a sense. What could you do with the use of symbols to help you with this? Well, you can construct a talisman that could be used to give you this type of dominance or whatever. And you could also use mental imagery so that bringing up the image of, Some people use animal symbolism so that different aspects of the psyche, different personality traits are personified, sometimes with animals, for example, so that a lion could represent courage, or a bear. So bringing up this image, as silly as it may sound on the surface, of a bear or an eagle or whatever, this idea that represents this concept, and holding that image as a type of mask, in the creation of a talisman, you have to give it life, stepping into that image and being confident, being whatever you want to be. So this is a way to sort of don this mask psychologically. This is the ability to switch on and off different aspects of the psyche at will. Okay? So let's say that you have an important business meeting and you're nervous and you're scared. Or anything where you need courage. Okay, so you need courage. All right? What are some things you can do? What is some imagery you could bring up? A lion, bear, etc., eagle. So these are animal symbols. Okay. Lion, eagle, those are animals of predators. So that aspect, a lion, you could use animal symbolism. Within the tarot, you could hold the image of the emperor. Okay, so the emperor represents this kind of kingly emperor. This is a king upon his throne. I guess in mythology you would say this is Zeus or Jupiter, king of the gods. This is the king. This is that ruler aspect. So to assert dominance, you may have the emperor, or within mythology, mythological figures, deities are personified concepts. You may have Zeus or Jupiter, okay, etc. Okay? Or in a feminine form, it could be Athena. So, deities, animal symbolism, tarot cards, these all are personified ideas that we could apply to be brave, courageous, more loving, more sensitive, warlike. This is a way to consciously work with symbols to switch on and off different aspects of our psyche. Okay? So that these are a bit like masks. So through deities from mythology, Ares, the god of war, Aphrodite, or Venus immediately brings up this kind of sexy ideal, sexy female figure. I guess in our modern mythology we might say Marilyn Monroe. So by bringing, if you're a woman and you want to bring up the sexiness, think of that type of image and step into it. And this is a sense breathing life into it. Okay? Now, like I said, talismans are way more, they're a lot deeper than just, I believe, than just suggestion. However, in this video, we're not really going into the technicalities of talisman construction. We're just going with the power of suggestion and placebo, this aspect that is very well proven. And this makes a lot of sense, that the power of suggestion, the placebo, all of these things are applied. So that by holding this imagery, you have a sort of psychological technology that could be applied. Okay? So, what are some things that you would like to develop in yourself? What are some things that you would like to develop in yourself? Okay? If you think of the psyche as this round circle, okay? Now, where is your ego or your own self-image? So if we divide this into 4 quadrants. Over here, we could have, well, let's say this. Are you too assertive? Are you overly dominant to the point of being overbearing? Are you too rational? Do you need to get in touch with the sensitive feeling aspect? Or is it the other way around? Are you too emotional? Do you need to toughen up and have this more assertion? So that having a balance between different qualities is the image of a circle. Symmetry is when 2 sides of something are perfectly symmetrical. So my body is symmetrical. My arms are the same length on each side. But the only object that has perfect symmetry on all sides is a circle. Every side is symmetrical to the opposite side. So this could be applied to reach a certain wholeness within yourself, and also for practicalities, to deal with the problems you have in life. So it could be a mythological figure, it could be tarot symbolism, it could be animal symbolism, it could be deities from mythology. Any of this could be used. And you can combine it with type of a self-hypnosis. You can count backwards from 100 to 1, slowly going into a type of induction, or you can just bring the image up and kind of step into it, if you know what I mean. So that is just a very basic look at the use of symbols for the power of suggestion. And this is something that could be applied in your life. So what I would like for you to do, think of some things that you would like to be able to bring up to the surface in yourself more often. And think of some particular symbols that are meaningful to you that you could bring up. Okay? So that is something that I would like you to try if you want to try to develop this type of thing. Now, before we close today's lesson, I would like to announce that I'm back doing the radio show and everything. So we're back doing that. And we do have some very special guests that are coming up on Magic Occult Radio. So that's really exciting. And below in the description box, I'll give a link to our other YouTube channel, which is for Magic Occult Radio. So if you want to get down in below in the description box, I'll give a link to this other channel if you would like to check out our show. And Magic Occult Radio, we try to give all different perspectives. So that before, we actually talked about the use of saints and kind of a Catholic folk magic with saints. Then we went and interviewed some Luciferian left-hand path people. And then we've got interviews coming up on Druidism. We're going to be going into Hermeticism, different grimoires, Voodoo, so African religions, and then we're going to have some people coming up to talk about Satanism, so Christianity, Satanism, Luciferianism, Voodoo, Gnosticism, basically every aspect of the occult, every single aspect. So in our radio show, without bias, try to give every single angle of occultism so that this is introduced to the community. So that's coming up, y'all. So anyways, that is today's lesson on using symbols to create a sort of interchange within ourselves. And at a deeper level, if you really believe in something, does it really affect the environment as well? So that, is there a connection between consciousness and matter so that changes are actually affected in the environment? So anyways, thank you for joining me. I am Taliesin McKnight, and see you guys next time.